Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Grand rising to all my good people, man. Good to see y'all, family. Happy Friday. As y'all are joining, please make sure that you hit that like button. Hit that like button. We got a lot to discuss. Is Donald Trump serious with this peace board? A lot of videos coming up saying what the amazing plans of Jared Kushner, how they're going to build out Gaza and all this other stuff. And it seems to be one group in particular that's left out of the conversation. So we're going to get into that. We got a bunch to discuss. We got an old video about JFK. We got Ben Shapiro. We got a bunch of stuff. We got a bunch of people tapping in. And more importantly, we got y'all tapping in early. So let's see who's in the building. Shout out to Finn. Y'all know what Finn does. We don't need to repeat it. Measure yourself by your conduct, not by the crowd's reaction. You know what's funny, Finn? I was watching this video on YouTube. They do these AI debates. I don't know if y'all have seen them, but it was Marcus Aurelius. I forget who he was debating. I maybe watched a minute of it, but they were going back and forth as far as, I guess, asking certain questions of today and how Marcus Aurelius would respond in a debate with, I forget exactly who it was, but I think it was an old philosopher. I wasn't really into it because I'm like, oh, this is just some AI stuff. But I wasn't sure if they were going to actually reference quotes that Marcus Aurelius and the other scholar were using. But yeah, just thought about you yesterday while I was watching that. Silence isn't ignorance, it's fear. Everyone knows. This is a heavy one. Silence isn't ignorance, it's fear. Everyone knows the truth. Courage is calling it out, not blending in with the sheep. Damn, we starting off early on a Friday. That's a Friday quote right there. That's definitely a Friday quote right there. Finn always with the good quotes. Good morning at Grand Rising. Shout out to Omni in the building. We got Samira in the building, tapping in bright and early. What's the weather out there on the West Coast, Samira? Let's see. It's hard to contribute to the chat because I'm always at work, but it's greatly appreciated what is being done here and the conversations we have. If only more adults could have logical discussions. Y'all know what we're here to do. Just have logical conversations. Get as many different perspectives in the room as possible. That's what adults should love. Like, that's what should be called being an adult. You know, that when it comes to anything politically, culturally, anything that requires discussion on any topic, you get a bunch of different adults in the room. You have logical conversations, respect everybody's opinion, and you build from there. You build from there with the common understanding of, hey, we just want to be decent to each other. So definitely. If only I was on the highway right now. Samir is funny, man. Samir is funny. Shout out to Unk in the building. Grand Rising. We made it through another tumultuous political week. However, we've all survived. We're here. Give thanks to those that have showed up. Please remember to like and subscribe. Definitely, Unk. We made it through another one. Well, we're making it through another one. We still got work to do, as I'm sure everyone has a full Friday ahead of them, but we're here. We showed up. Might as well have fun with it. Shout out to Abu Han in the building. Abu Han, hope all is well, brother. Hope all is well. Let's keep it going. The Bug. All right, what's good, The Bug? Hello, friends. Hope all is well. Hope you're well as well. Hope you are well as well. Incognito in the building. Good morning, Incognito. My fault I didn't get you yesterday. Yesterday, after we did the little shout outs, not little shout outs, after we did the big shout outs, I saw you coming in right as we were transitioning. So, just want to say good morning. No, I feel like, dang, you can't even say transition anymore. Good morning. Samir said, I got groceries delivered last night, but we need to go out today and get my marble lights. LOL, that's funny. That is funny. All right, Robert. Shout out to Big Bro Robert in the building. Good morning, y'all. Shout out to Big Bro Robert. Samir, like, man, I need my Marlboros. Bubbles, what's up, Bubbles? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hope all is well. Hope all is well. El Relly in the building. Good morning, Ellie. I keep saying Ellie. I want to say Ellie Relly, but of course we know it's El. But shout out to El in the building, tapping in early. We appreciate you, as you know. Canada's getting overrun too. It's a monarchy. It's hard. I don't even know what to believe. There's so many things, like Unc said. It's been a crazy week when it comes to all these politics, everything going on, especially down in Miami. Just because you got the Miami mayor bullying people, you got all these influencers coming down here. Yeah, it's interesting week to say the least. An interesting week to say the least. But hold on. So this is where we're gonna go with a lot of this conversation, and we're gonna go back to maybe a more traditional show when it used to be on Fridays, where we bounce around a bit, look at a bunch of the different videos. But the first place that I want to start is on this Trump peace board. When I first saw this, I thought this was a joke. So we're going to watch a bunch of videos on that. Hold on. Yeah, so we're going to watch a bunch of videos on that. Then we'll get into the other conversations. And y'all know we'll probably go off on some tangents, but that's just what we do. So let me, if it's okay with y'all, I just want to play a video on this Trump peace plan, or this Trump board, and then I'm going to read some information because I just didn't know much about it. But let me play this video for y'all, and then we shall go to get some information. And y'all let me know in the chat what y'all think about it so far. Is this like did y'all think this was a joke as well? Let's take a look at this video. So I guess this is Donald Trump before he's getting ready to announce this board of peace. Then we'll get into a little bit on it. All right, let's see. We're in the corner of that. So I don't know, seems pretty light in there. And that was not any pun intended. Seems pretty light in there. I don't know, but let's actually dive into what exactly it is. So Donald Trump's peace board is a proposed advisory group, not a formal institution, that reflects how he approaches foreign policy. So personal leverage, negotiation, and deal making instead of long wars. So I guess that's the goal of it. I guess this was Donald Trump's idea, or somebody on his staff. I don't know whose it was, but I guess after we see a genocide being committed in front of us, the obvious thing is to, hey, let's try to bring about some peace. So, well, like I said, I'm just learning about this. Maybe y'all know a bit more than me on it. So what it would do, so this is the goal. So advise on peace negotiations in major conflicts, Russia, Ukraine, Middle East, Iran, Palestine, Israel, to say a few. Use leverage. So they would, I guess, everybody coming together, you would be able to have more leverage as far as sanctions. So if a country is acting up, then the other countries can kind of put pressure on them, have certain sanctions. It comes with security guarantees, protection, similar to, like, I don't know if this is in response to like some of the feud, or I wouldn't say feud, but the conflict that we've had recently with NATO pertaining to Greenland, with Donald Trump, as you all know, initially coming in saying that, hey, we're going to take it one way or another. Then the rest of the European nations decided to step up and say, nah, we're not allowing that. Trump fell back, even though he's presenting it as if it was a win. Maybe it was a win. I don't know. Maybe it was a win, but the energy was just shifted a bit different. We're not going to own Greenland. I think that's very clear. At this point, we'll see what happens in the future. But economic incentives, threats of withdrawal. So I guess these are the type of leverage that they would be using in order to put pressure on certain countries that do not abide by these standards. Standards, interesting word. Bypass slow bureaucracy, so working directly with leaders rather than traditional diplomatic channels. Applying pressure on all sides to accept ceasefires or settlements. Now, if I was in this room, I would find it kind of funny that, especially if one of the goals is to apply pressure on all sides to accept ceasefires, you would kind of like think that Donald Trump would start with our greatest ally. Like that would probably make the most sense. If I was in this room, I would be looking at it like, out of all these things that are going on, this is like, you're talking to everybody else. Maybe you should actually start with the country that's actually implementing a lot of this stuff when it comes to the war, the genocide, all these different things. But neither here nor there. So this is what we have now. So the bottom line is Trump's peace board is meant to act as a deal-making pressure tool, pushing negotiated outcomes in global conflicts through leverage and direct talks rather than prolonged military intervention or traditional diplomatic processes. So pretty much just a new gang. It's a new gang. It's you know how the gang leaders come together, they do a little peace treaty. So they got maybe a couple different gang leaders from this blood set, a couple different gang leaders from this Crip set, a couple different gang leaders from this group, that group. And then they come together and hopefully, you know, have some sort of peace treaty. But meanwhile, obviously there's the elephant in the room that I already mentioned with Israel and Palestine. So let's kind of move on. And I want to show y'all a couple things. And I think Canada has even already gotten kicked out of it. Based on the little amount of research that I looked up, it seems as if Canada already got kicked out. And somebody may have mentioned this in the chat. Hold on. Somebody may have already mentioned this in the chat. I saw Canada come up. If you wrote something about Canada, do me a favor. I just saw it in the chat. Throw it up there again. So Unk said, no, I didn't think it was a joke because I heard him mention this a couple months ago. Back then, I knew it was going to be exactly what it's turned out to be. It's just a way to stab the UN in the neck. That's what it kind of seemed like to me. It seems like, hold on, we need to gather together this group because America's losing its pull, maybe amongst NATO, maybe in the UN. It seemed like something. But yeah, and I think Incognito said it best. Like after Bibi joined, I figured it was a joke. That's kind of where I was on all this stuff. That's kind of where I was on everything as far as soon as how do you have a board of peace, but then you have stuff like this? And matter of fact, that's a good segue into this next video that I saw. So I'm learning about this board of peace, and then I come across this video as I'm looking up some information on the board of peace. So this is Sam Parker. He says, while Trump was signing the Board of Peace Charter in Davos, Israel was literally bombing civilian targets in Lebanon, beyond parity. So take a look at this video. This is what I was referring to. Oh, did I click out of it? So as you can see on the screen, I want y'all to be able to see both, but it's two separate videos. But as they're signing the Board of Peace over here, I got to ask Grok. Y'all saw me just ask Grok. Hopefully I get a response ASAP. But clearly y'all can see what's going on if this is the case. So if this is accurate as far as Israel bombing Lebanon, you can see how, once again, Trump just isn't being taken seriously. It's almost as if every time Trump announces some sort of ceasefire, some sort of peace program, it's almost like intentionally Bibi Netanyahu or Israel, they're going to let him hang just to show the rest of the world, to show everybody else on the board, like, y'all may have to listen to Trump, but it's different. Y'all understand who's running things. If you were a country outside of America looking at what's going on, who would you think is actually running things? Who would you think, just looking from afar? And if you're not convinced by that, we will continue. I wanted to actually revisit an older video. Matter of fact, let me make sure I'm catching up with y'all. I got to make sure that Glay not here right now. So I got to make sure that I'm catching up with y'all on here too. So Grok actually replied, hold on. I just gotta, Grok is dope. I just got a reply from Grok in my phone. So it says, yes, confirmed via multiple sources on January 2nd, 2026, Trump ratified the Board of Peace Charter in Davos for Gaza peace efforts. On the same day, Israel conducted strikes in Lebanon, targeting border crossings in southern villages claimed to be Hezbollah linked, but resulting in 2 deaths and 19 injuries, including 8 journalists. The sources are the White House, Reuters, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I have a strong feeling I'm not. Al Jazeera and New Arab. Yeah, so it seems to be confirmed. That's kind of wild, man. Well, but should we even be surprised? Should we even be surprised? I'm trying to make sure I catch up with your comments. So Incognito said this in regards to Canada, and I may be able to look up something on Canada. Oh, already got it queued up. My bad. All right, so Incognito said, I don't think Canada is buying our Kool-Aid anymore. LOL, did they plan on even joining? All right, so let's take a look. I know it's one of those things like, bro, I didn't even, like, you get an invite to the party and then they uninvite you. And it's like, bro, I wasn't planning on coming anyway. Like, the only reason why you uninvited me is because I wasn't pulling up. Let's be clear. But so Trump put this out. Dear Prime Minister Carney, please let this letter serve to represent that the Board of Peace is withdrawing its invitation to you regarding Canada's joining what will be the most prestigious board of leaders ever assembled at any time. Thank you for your attention to this matter. You know what this reminds me of? You know how they put out some sort of policy or they're voting on something and they'll call it one name. It'll be like, this is the agricultural bill. But then they'll have something in there that like has nothing to do with agriculture. It's just like lowering taxes or something like that, for whatever it may be. I'm just giving an example. You just call it the Board of Peace, but all it is a leverage gang. As we're reading through the description of what the Board of Peace is, all it is a leverage gang. You can call it peace, you can call it all you want. It's one of those things. Well, what is peace? Peace is us getting our way. So if you want to join this group, that's what peace is going to represent, us getting our way. That's what it seems like to me. That's what it seems like to me. So it's just more the same. Reuters. All right, it's Reuters. All right. Well, why don't they spell it that way? Now let me stop. It's Reuters. So Unc said, peace is what you make it. But when you have in peace sitting down at the table with a bunch of greedy individuals, you already know that they're going to carve up whatever little bit that you're bringing to the table. Yeah, it's yeah. There may be and Unc brings up a good point when he says all that does is leave room for Russia and China agents to move in and swoop in and soothe those insecurities. There may be some realigning going on. There definitely may be some realigning, and perhaps this is the case when you always have these big issues, like, or these big wars that it seems like countries are not agreeing on. Perhaps those are the times when things get shifted a bit, when Canada stops believing in America, when different allies start questioning different people's principles and purpose for doing certain things. I see it clearly when it comes to Israel-Palestine. That's one of those things that clearly not everybody is in agreement with when it comes to the US's support of Israel. Maybe that's something that's tearing things apart, or maybe people are just looking at it like a whole bunch of Americans are looking at it like, yo, we just don't respect y'all anymore as much because we see y'all getting bullied and just doing the bidding of Israel. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Matter of fact, maybe Abuhan summed it up correctly. These really just some toddlers playing politician. That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like. But let's keep the videos going. let's keep the videos going. So now I'm going to get into, I'm not sure if y'all have seen the recent videos as far as Jared Kushner speaking on these Gaza plans. We're going to get into that. But first, I want to look at this old video of Kushner. A reminder for a lot of people. Perhaps this will be the first time that others see this video. So this is a while back. So this is, this post went out. Well, this post just came out, but this is a video from a while back when Kushner was sitting down in this 60 Minutes overtime interview or 60 Minutes interview and Steve Witkoff, and they had some interesting things to say. And you're almost sitting here looking at Steve Witkoff like, bro, it doesn't seem like you're supposed to say what you're actually saying. And Jared Kushner's looking at him like, bro, you're bugging. Take a look at this, and then we'll get into the more recent comments by Jared Kushner.
We're working with a group of people who have been working on master plans for the last 2 years.
So there are plans already?
Yeah. We have plans already. We have a master plan already. And by the way, and Jared's been pushing this, and we're working together. We're working with a group of people who have been working on master plans for the last 2 years.
So there are plans already?
Yeah. We have plans already. We have a master plan already.
You see Kushner looking at him? Look how Kushner looks at him.
Already.
Yeah. We have plans already. We have a master plan.
He's looking at him like, bro, do you realize what you're saying? Imagine having a master plan. Imagine another country having a master plan for America. Swooping in when you're weak. Acting as if you're the savior. It's hard to even put, like, to conceptualize in my mind what America would be on if this was the case. Glay in the building.
What's good? Glay, what's happening? What's happening?
Matter of fact, and I needed you here because my mic is definitely not on. And nobody told me.
I know he don't fuck with the mic not being on.
Nobody told me that the mic was sounding cheap and that it wasn't this sure. But real quick, Glay, I'm gonna play this once again. So this is just to bring you up to speed. This is the old video of Kushner. So this is Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law. And this is Steve Witkoff, one of the people that he typically sends over to do his different business dealings, negotiations, things of that nature. And they're having a conversation a while back about the plans of Gaza. Like, they're making plans for what Gaza is going to be for the Palestinians. So we'll play it one more time just so Glay can catch up on it, and then we'll get to the most current video.
We're working with a group of people who have been working on master plans for the last 2 years.
So there are plans already?
Yeah. We have plans already. We have a master plan already. And by the way, and Jared's been pushing this, and we're working.
So there are plans already?
Yeah. We have plans already. We have a master plan already.
He's looking at him like, bro, so for the last 2 years, y'all been planning with these people. Like, this is when, and think about it, this is when, I don't know if you remember that Trump Gaza video that came out that Trump put up with Trump like doing the goofy dancing. You don't remember that? Hold up, come on, Glay. You don't remember the Trump Gaza? Hold on, let me see if I can bring this up.
Okay, you got me about to Google the joint.
Trump Gaza, hold on. Nah, you know, I got it. I'm gonna pull it up right here. Hold on. Trump Gaza video. Can I find it? Hold on. Trump Gaza. Hold on, let me put AI video. Typing in the wrong thing. Hold on.
So you gonna laugh. They got Gaza on the, they got the Gaza play.
I mean, it seems like this whole thing, like, was this whole thing just a real estate deal? Was this just a demolition and then we're going to gentrify the area?
Like, if you want to keep it smooth, simple, and digestible and palatable, that's what it sounds like to me. Sounds like a hedge fund came in, wanted the property. They said gentrify it, raise the rents up so they can't afford to live there anymore. And we're going to come in here and find a way to make pennies on the dollar. Yeah, that's what it sounded like to me. I ain't never seen this video.
All right, so take a look at this video. It like I said, it'll be a reminder for some, but perhaps a much needed refresher.
Donald is coming to set you free, bringing the light for all to see. No more tunnels, no more fear. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza number one. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza number one.
I don't even think Trump realized. First off, this whole video, I forgot this jump was weird. You got bearded belly dancers, which is like extremely weird. But then even I was gonna say, is that supposed to be a guy or a guy? Oh nah. I thought that was but you got Elon in there, you got BB and Trump chilling. And this is what Trump put out a while back. This is what Trump tweeted. Like somebody made it and then Trump put it up.
Oh, so he co-signed it.
He stamped it. He stamped it. So that's the thing. It's like, can we really be surprised? It's like, yo, bruh, like this is supposed to be a joke, I guess, but I guess not. So here's the more recent video of Kushner speaking out on it. And this was at this Board of Peace event where Kushner started to speak on those plans as far as what they're going to do for the Palestinian people. So let's take a look at this one.
We did a master plan. We brought in, I think, Yakir Gabay, who's one of the most successful real estate developers and brilliant people I know. He's volunteered to do this, not for profit, really because of his heart. He wants to do this. And we've developed ways to redevelop Gaza. Gaza, as President Trump's been saying, has amazing potential. And this is for the people of Gaza. We've developed it into zones. In the beginning, we were toying with the idea of saying, let's build a free zone, and then we have a Hamas zone. And then we said, you know what, let's just plan for catastrophic success. Hamas signed a deal to demilitarize. That is what we're going to enforce. People ask us what our plan B is. We do not have a plan B.
Like, how are you just...
Let's do a free zone in a Hamas zone?
Yeah.
Like y'all can slide over here. Oh, this is just some hedge fund work.
Bro, this is no different than anything that probably Jared Kushner does on a regular basis, whether he's establishing stuff in the Middle East, in America.
Chelsea, New York, Dumbo.
And is this like, so I'm going to go there where we typically try to avoid going there because I have to ask, this is what came to mind.
I mean, hold on.
This is what came to mind. And what is America playing in this Middle Eastern region? It seems like America's playing the savior. It seems like America via Jared Kushner, Donald Trump, our government, however you want to put it, is playing this type of savior. You're acting like, are there no Palestinians that can plan their city? Like they did have a city before it was demolished, right?
Yes.
So I'm assuming that if they want to create certain things in their city, they can create it. And it probably would just be helpful if you want to help just to say like, yo, just make sure your man's over there just doesn't bomb us and we'll be all right. We'll rebuild. We'll figure this thing out. But just make sure we're not getting bombed, that we're not like it's y'all intentionally demolished the land just so you can rebuild on it. And it's happening right in front of our face. So the reason why I said, am I going to go there? I think back to when, because this just seems like imperialism, colonization, whatever you want to call it. And then when I go back and think what we always think about, okay, well, how was this world created? How were the borders created? We watched the video yesterday on how America was created. And when you go back to that colonizing mindset, it's like, this is why it was so important for them to make Jesus white, for them to make Jesus look exactly as Europeans looked. Because before you colonize a particular group, it's a lot easier when you can act as if you're the savior and present yourself as looking exactly like the savior. Because that's all this stuff is. It's all just spreading out. Whether we're doing things in Venezuela, we're acting as if we're the savior there. Whether we're doing things in Nigeria, we're acting as if we're the savior there. Israel, Palestine, acting as if we're the savior there. Trump was trying to act as if we were the savior with Russia and Ukraine, but it's just happened to run into a guy named Putin who's just not with it. Everything, all of these colonizing efforts seem to align with behaving as if you are the savior and saving these people and giving them something that they need in their lives, while at the same time you're exploiting them.
Think about slavery. Savior,
bro. These people are beasts. We need to save them.
Obey your master. If you work hard now, you'll be able to go to heaven. Savior.
It's all based on becoming a savior. So for a lot of us, when we do ask the question, which I'm sure a lot of people do, and say, well, it doesn't really matter if Jesus is white in these black churches that I walk into and stuff like that. Perhaps it doesn't. Perhaps it doesn't. But perhaps it actually does, though. What if it does? And it seems like all the things that the people who are it's actually happening to, they're always excusing the behavior and the strategies and trying to look the other way when the other people are implementing the strategy in a very intentional way. But this just kind of, this is a savior complex, bro. This is why it's so important for me when I sit back and I love the part about the Jewish culture as far as them not waiting for a savior to come back. They're doing it themselves. This is why it becomes so dangerous when you're looking for somebody else to save you. You can't trust other people to save you. Mm-hmm. They're going to exploit you. It's been showed time after time. It's like a gazelle trusting a lion.
Yeah, because he said so.
No, trust the lion to be a lion. Don't trust the lion to save your life from other lions or to save you from whatever situation you're in. It just doesn't make sense. But it's like if you present the gazelle and convince the gazelle, hey, this picture of this lion, bro, that's your savior.
You're going to trust all lions.
If the gazelle then teaches the baby gazelle, hey, that lion, that's your savior. Now what are you setting your kids up for?
Mm-hmm.
So to me, a lot of this is like this is just what I'm seeing being played out. Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. But these dots and sit back and wonder, how are people just allowing this? Like, how is this okay? How is it okay for a group of world leaders who would never allow anybody else to come into their country and determine the layout?
Like this is a 14th floor corner apartment complex in Manhattan.
Right. It's like, yeah, we originally were thinking about having a free zone here and then a Hamas zone, but we're just gonna, hey, it's just all gonna be free. We're just gonna. It's like, bro, what? So I mean, we'll keep going with the video, but it's just like, damn, the audacity, bro. Like this is not your land.
Like architects.
This is not your land. This is against, this is against whatever war boards after it was the Geneva Convention that I was referring to, where after that they established rules that even if you lose a war, like the people in that country, they don't lose their private property. You can't take away people's private property. So what did they have to do? Oh, they had to demolish it first. So that way they wouldn't be in violation of the law. Oh, we're not taking anybody's private property. There's nothing there. It's just rubble. So how do they then have a claim to anything? Because everything has been destroyed. All of this stuff is just strategic, and we just sit back. We just sit back. The rest of the countries, they sit back. And then we have to question once again something that we don't want to question, or it's like people act like, oh, all you do is talk about Israel. Everybody just blames Israel. Bruh. Look what's happening right in front of our face. Who else would be happier about this than Israel? With the exception of maybe the Trump family, because I guess they can hang out. And then I went down the rabbit hole yesterday too, just in mind. This is what else I was thinking. Israel, like you can't, what's it called when somebody can, like you commit a crime in America and then you go to a different country, and then like Assata Shakur in Cuba, what's it called, that concept where they won't extradite you back to your country? That
Richard Simmons shit.
You have I don't know if it's immunity. I forget the exact word. Mm-hmm. Somebody definitely fill me in on this, but I'm just gonna keep going with the point. I trust that y'all will fill it in. But then I realized, because this is what they were saying with a lot of like the recent guy that was in politics or something, where he was convicted of like soliciting underage prostitute or something like that. Mm-hmm. And they just brought him back to Israel and he was safe. And that this has happened multiple times. So then I was thinking, I'm like, wait, is this a Donald Trump thing where Donald Trump's worried about, you know, he just got brought to court. Now he's a felon, right? He had all these charges brought against him after he was president the first time. Is he going to be worried about this afterwards? Like, is he setting up some sort of immunity deal with Israel? Because if he ever gets charged of anything in America, he could just dip off to Israel, right? And just live out the rest of his years. He has protection for his family. Hey, y'all come out to Israel, y'all are good here. So is this and the only reason why my mind goes these places is because you see these type of things happening.
Yeah.
So it's
political asylum.
So political asylum, but it's yes, I guess it would be political asylum. Yeah, diplomatic immunity, extradition treaty. So yeah, this all these things that y'all good folks are mentioning. Shout out to JJB and L. Relly and Finn. But yeah, the extradition treaty, diplomatic immunity, political asylum. It's almost like, bro, are you setting yourself up? Because think about it. People who are in power and people who like control, Trump lost a lot of that power and control. He can act as if, you know, he wasn't nervous when he was going through all that court stuff. And, you know, eventually, like I said, he became a convicted felon. You can act like that had to be scary, especially for somebody that was the president of the United States and has been in a powerful role for the majority of his life. Mm-hmm. The fact that they could just throw you, now you in court, now you facing all these years, that can happen again, especially with perhaps a lot of the things that are happening with this presidency. So I'm almost thinking like, if he's playing chess, he has to be thinking like, yo, if they come after me, it's like, maybe I got to set something up, like some type of plan or something. I don't know. I don't know.
No, I see what you're saying. Because there's a new guy that just doubled down on it.
Really?
Yeah, there's a new. I was watching a little bit of it yesterday. Somebody pressing Trump right now, and he said he'll do it again. And I believe, I don't know if he's on the diplomatic or he's a Democrat or whatever it is. But yeah, there's a guy right now who just filed. Oh, I want to say he's a political a lawyer or something like that.
And what was it regarding when you say that they were on him? What do you mean? Like trying to put more charges on him?
Yeah, like some new vibes, some new charges that they just hit him with. Oh, Jack Smith.
Oh, so yeah, so Jack Smith is going through. My dad was telling me about this. Jack Smith, he's going through his trial, and or he's going through his hearing or something. I don't know. I didn't even look into it, but I saw it on the news yesterday. So now he's accusing Trump of more things, you're saying?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was Jack Smith. I saw it yesterday. Mm-hmm. Republicans tried to snag Jack Smith on technicalities, but now he pressing up on Trump to investigate him, et cetera, et cetera. So it definitely looked like some new waves coming at your boy. That's time, you know, that's a lot you got to keep. You know what I mean? And, you know, Trump look like he don't win in the game of business because he does everything ethically. You know, it's hard to make it to that level if somebody ain't getting played. So he got to set it up right. So like you said, it ain't got to be a conspiracy. The shoe fits. Your boy tried to set it up nicely. He trying to set up his vacation home in Thailand. So in case y'all niggas go funny, he got his boys over there. I mean, you did say the spy didn't we switch up with the spy that was here and we sent him back? Like, and he the man over there. And we ain't really do shit. So it's like if Trump becomes that true ally and sets him up and puts himself in a position where, like you said, my man good over there. He let Israel, he basically came through and supported Israel like he was supposed to do, which could have been an earlier conversation they had, maybe first term. And then, you know, he's just leaning into his deal. And then he good to go. Either way, there's a bag, there's a check, or there's some property at the end of this deal here.
It seems like this is the big leagues. Like America, yeah, I got power in America. This the big leagues over here.
Yeah, this light work.
Yeah, this BB Israel, this the big leagues. But let's keep going. Let's hear what he got to say. And it's just the audacity, bro, to really be planning, like building somebody else's stuff, bro. Like you just this was all intentional. This was all intentional. This was all just a play. Yeah. It was all just a play. This was the goal, and we knew this. This is the clean break memo. It was written 20-some years ago, or maybe more than that at this point. This was just all just a play. We'll keep going.
We have a plan. We signed an agreement. We are all committed to making that agreement work. There's a master plan. We'll be doing it in phasing. In the Middle East, they build cities like this in 2-3 million people. They build this in 3 years, and so stuff like this is very doable if we make it happen. Rothel will start with. This will show a lot of workforce housing. We think this could be done in 2-3 years. We've already started removing the rubble and doing some of the demolition. And then New Gaza. It could be a hope. It could be a destination, have a lot of industry, and really be a place that the people there can thrive, have great employment. Once this starts going, we think there should be 100% full employment and opportunity for everybody there. And we have a lot of data on what can be, but we think that this really gives the Gazan people an opportunity to live their aspirations. But it all starts with security, and it all starts with governance.
It all starts with security, and it all starts with governance. Security from who? From y'all? Like security from who? Like, bro, they really created a PowerPoint presentation about taking somebody else's land and how they're going to develop it, bro.
Yeah, this isn't guilty as charged. I don't know. Damn. That's the play. This ain't got nothing to do with October 7th, October 6th.
7th, yeah.
Yeah, this ain't got nothing to do with that. This was the play. This is gentrification, bro.
Maybe the real crime was on October 6th. Maybe that's when they got the heads up and said, and maybe that's when the decision was made to stand down on October 7th. That this was part of the play. It is, bro.
It was a real estate play.
Just like everything else. Just like that video we watched yesterday. Yeah. When they're redrawing the lines, acting like nobody's there.
Push it out. This is the Gaza purchase.
The Gaza purchase for free.
Free $3.99.
Oh my God. Let's keep going.
Final note I'll just say on the Board of Peace, which is that all the lessons we're doing is we're basically studying the best practices for aspirations, but it all starts with security, and it all starts with a place that the people there can thrive, have great employment. Once this starts going, we think there should be 100% full employment and opportunity for everybody there. And we have a lot of data on what can be, but we think that this really gives the Gazan people an opportunity to live their aspirations. But it all starts with security, and it all starts with governance. Final note I'll just say on the Board of Peace, which is that all the lessons we're doing is we're basically studying the best practices from all over the world, and we're watching who does education the best, who does healthcare delivery the best. All of these things it's not secret IP. All this is IP that the Board of Peace is going to make public, and we want to encourage all the countries to be able to follow these best practices. A lot of the things that President Trump is doing in America, if they're working, we should all be copying them. If we find what's working in other countries, we should be copying them too. And so what the Board of Peace will have the ability to do if we're successful with Gaza is really show how do you do peace implementation, which is something that when we got this deal done, we didn't really find too much expertise or know-how on how to do it. So as we're creating this system, hopefully it's something that we can just document these learnings and make them available to all else who want to use them in the future.
If I was an Arab or even white in the Middle East, like, do you not understand why now they're saying that you're big Satan and they're saying death to America? Like, it's almost, I would be looking at you funny if you weren't saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we try to get up on here and say, well, this country screams death to America. What would we be screaming if somebody did this to us?
Mm-hmm. This is the Board of Peace convention at that.
Just because you get up in a nice tie and you're speaking in a regular voice, You know what I'm saying? And you're talking about it, this is just as if you're like at a board meeting building the next Trump Tower or whatever else. Like that doesn't take anything away. The fact that you are ethnically cleansing this area, completely taking it over. You committed, you actively were involved in a genocide. And just because everybody sat back and allowed you to do it, and then will allow you to do this PowerPoint, it's like, bro, this is not peace. This is not peace. This is you oppressing and colonizing and committing imperialism on another group of people because they don't have the same culture as you. Because you can take it. That's why.
They do it in America.
Now, do we think that this is going to make terrorism grow? Like this is, matter of fact, this actually perhaps is now time to revisit who's the real terrorist organization, because it gets to a point where don't you start to sit back and just think like, well, damn, like those Hamas people that they've painted as such terrorists, I'm sitting here trying to figure out what would we do if somebody just was taking our stuff and everybody else was just allowing it? What, like, at what point do you just break and just say F it? Like we're going to protect our stuff. We're going to go on the offensive. The same people that would do this, do we now think that Palestinians, like, have we gotten to the point where we can now accept that the conditions that the Palestinians were living in before October 7th, when people were calling it apartheid, when people were saying that they're living in an open air prison and everybody was defending it and acting as if, no, they have this right, they have this right, they have this right. It makes you question everything. At least for me, Glay, I don't know. I don't know how you're feeling on it.
That's how I'm feeling.
It makes me question everything.
So demilitarization, this is something we're starting now that we have a new government in Gaza. This government will be working with Hamas on the demilitarization.
Say it again?
That was this year?
What?
That meeting was just happened?
Bro, this is like yesterday or this week or something like that.
This is nasty. Oh, so the cat's out the bag.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this is.
Oh, and you know, this whole episode, I'm thinking you're dropping this as some like, oh, okay, let's talk about this perspective when it comes to that. This just dropped. So this is new news.
This is happening now.
Oh, so it's already all right. So that's the answer. We don't even have to guess.
It's speculation is
I
over.
thought the speculation was still at hand. Oh,
The other video, I may have thrown you off. The other video was from
yeah, the two guys.
Yeah.
Oh, so this was lit. This just happened yesterday. Oh, y'all. Well, okay. Well, I mean, we ain't got to figure out what one. If somebody says 1 plus X equals 2, I think we can do the math here, guys. 1 plus X equals 2. What does X equal? That's how I'm kind of seeing this type of situation. So it may be the if you know, you know, but I think it's very obvious that 1 plus X equals 2. The variable X most likely equals 1. So it's safe to say that 1 plus 1 equals 2 and show all your work. And if you show all your work, and if you show all your work, we're landing here. So now we officially have what X equals, because X didn't have a clear understanding of what it equaled because they never showed us 2. This is 2. This is 2.
This is the end result.
This is it. 1 was the war. So if 1 is the war and this is 2, then it's safe to say we know what X is, guys. And I ain't good at math, and I was an econ major. So, it's official then, Glay. I don't know. Now these conversations change a little bit in the mornings. It's no longer about what are we doing here. Okay, I think cats know what it is now. Now, what you gonna do about it? What you gonna say about it? How we gonna respond to it? Because it's official. These niggas built out pamphlets. They got brochures that they're handing out. They're sending out PowerPoints about how they're redeveloping and gentrifying Brooklyn. And they have multi-use spots. They have fixed-use spots. They have restaurants and shops and hotels. And, you know, they're building the High Line. And they're saying that they're going to be able to raise rent. And, you know, the people that are currently there got to get the hell out and push out. That's what's going on. They do it in America all the time, and they gas it up and say they're cleaning up the area, when really somebody in somewhere get benefiting from this. So that's what I'm seeing here. Okay, all right. So now we know, guys, gentrifying outside of America is called colonizing, and it's still currently practiced regardless. And so even if your religious beliefs, they weaponize the religion and do all those other things to justify the commercial property play.
And who's paying for this? Now that I'm thinking about it, like, is this our tax dollars? Are our tax dollars going to this?
Go ahead and check.
Hold on, I gotta look this up. Are American tax dollars funding the new developments in Gaza presented by Jared Kushner?
Follow the money. Ain't that what you say? Go ahead.
Follow the bread, man. That's the wire right there. Follow the money. All right, let's see what we got going on. Let's see if ChatGPT gonna keep it real. Let's see if they're gonna keep it real, what they're gonna spit out. But it's really sad. You know, we get up on here and just kind of talk about it like it's just news for us, because it is, you know what I'm saying? But these are people's reality, bro. This is people's reality. Like, I couldn't imagine, you know, you work hard. Imagine working hard. You may build your home yourself. You buy a home, whatever it is. And like, people just make up an excuse to completely destroy everything, to remove you from where you've called your home for longer than anybody else that has a right to claim it as their home. And they just start building on it, bro. This is sick. This is a sickness, bro. It's a cultural sickness. This is definitely a cultural sickness. So let me see. So it says Jared Kushner has publicly discussed post-war redevelopment ideas for Gaza, framing them as real estate and economic development opportunities if the conflict ends and Gaza is stabilized. Kushner himself has not announced a formal U.S. government program to use American tax dollars to rebuild Gaza. However, critics argue that any U.S.-backed reconstruction plan would likely involve U.S. foreign aid, U.S. guaranteed financing, multinational funds where the U.S. is a major contributor. In practice, that often means American taxpayer money indirectly supporting reconstruction through aid packages or international institutions. Damn. So,
well, let finish that. How long?
Yeah, we're gonna finish it. We're gonna finish it.
Because I never
Conversation
seen this
to really
crazy,
take
bro.
the principles that were agreed to in the document to the next phase, and hopefully that will be successful. Without that, we can't rebuild. So if Hamas does not demilitarize, that will be what holds back Gaza and the people of Gaza from achieving their aspiration, and that's very important. So the next phase past that, we can't rebuild. So if Hamas does not demilitarize, that will be what holds back Gaza and the people of Gaza from achieving their aspiration, and that's very important.
If Hamas doesn't demilitarize, that's going to be what holds the people of Gaza back. Yo, this is all, no, we're your savior, not the people that are risking their lives to stand up for y'all getting y'all stuff taken. Not the people that are willing to take up arms in order to stand up for the people because they've been having their land taken from them. They've been living in this open air prison. Those aren't your people. We're your people, the one that fund Israel to commit the genocide against you. So if something doesn't go right, then don't blame us. Don't blame Israel, even though Israel and America dropped all these bombs and committed a demolition on your entire country, don't blame Israel, don't blame America, but blame the people of the Hamas. Blame Hamas.
So the next 100 days, we're going to continue to just be heads down and focused on making sure this is implemented. We continue to be focused on humanitarian aid, humanitarian shelter, but then creating the conditions to move forward. So thank you. Final point I'll just make is this is really only possible because of the work of so many people and President Trump's great leadership. But a lot of you have been asking, how can we help? So the countries have all been incredibly generous. We'll be doing the first conference where we'll announce a lot of the contributions that will be made in a couple weeks in Washington. From the private sector, there'll be amazing investment opportunities. I know it's a little risky to be investing in a place like this, but we need you to come.
Bro. Bro, this is evil. I'm sorry, Glad. I'm gonna keep playing it, but bro, are we hearing what's being discussed?
No,
There's private investment opportunities, so now I can go pay for somebody so a house that, or like I'm just gonna buy land that y'all stole from Palestinians who actually own the land. Bro, this is disgusting work, man. Yo. I don't see how you can, if you believe in God and if you believe in energy and you believe in the universe, however way you look at it, I don't see how you can think that we as America can put out this much evil and not expect it to come back like at some point in some way. And maybe that's just the plan. Oh, when it comes back, then we'll just have another excuse to start another war and take more land.
Take faith, invest in the people, try to be a part of it. And then finally, I'll just talk to people on the media and on the social media, which is this deal only happened because we worked with Israel, we worked with Turkey, we worked with Qatar, we worked with Saudi, we worked with Egypt. I mean, everyone worked together. We worked with UAE. We all worked together to make this happen.
No, it's not we all. Did I hear Palestine in there? How are you working with everybody else but the people who actually own the land? Or own the property on the land, however you want to describe it. The people that have lived there. Did he name any, like, bro, what?
Happened because we worked with Israel, we worked with Turkey, we worked with Qatar, we worked with Saudi, we worked with Egypt. I mean, everyone worked together.
They try to throw in these other Arab nations as if all Arab nations are the same. Oh, yeah, we took Nigeria, but we worked with Ghana, we worked with this. Like, no, it doesn't work that way, bro.
We worked with UAE. We all worked together to make this happen. I see a lot of people trying to escalate, criticizing Israel or Israelis criticizing Turkey or Qatar. Just calm down for 30 days. I think that the war's over. Let's do our best to try working together. Our goal here is peace between Israel and the Palestinian people. Everyone wants to live peacefully. Everyone wants to live with dignity. Let's put our efforts towards promoting those who are doing the work to build this up, like Ali and his committee. Let's focus on the positive stories, and let's just calm down, turn a new chapter. And if we believe that peace is possible, then peace really can be possible. So we're going to continue to work every day. We need all of your help to do it. And again, I just really want to thank President Trump for his leadership in doing this. This would not have been possible without your commitment to this. Everyone thought it was impossible to end this war. You never gave up. You never stopped. Every time there was a setback, you told us to try harder. You gave us different ideas. And we've made several impossible things happen just in Gaza to date. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to make even more impossible things happen. So really, thank you for your amazing leadership.
Okay, well, there you go. Yep. The cat's out the bag now. Is it the hat? Cat's out the hat?
I don't know.
Cat out the bag, cat out the hat.
What kind of hat? No.
Cat out the small hat. All right, the cat is out the small hat. So okay, it's official. This is we gonna stand on it. Energy. And we, like you were saying earlier, though, Glade, when you said what they expect, America has to expect something gonna come back. The karma gonna be real. And I'd like to remind us that America ain't never gave a fuck. Since day one, they ain't cared about who the fuck coming back. This been the play, and America has become this great country, quote unquote, by operating this way since day one, since they found this motherfucker. And I don't think anything's going to stop them until they have every piece of land on this planet that they can identify as theirs or got a hand involved in it. So we as the people see the violation and it looks so obvious to us, but this is 2026. Oh, I'm gonna go grab that. This is when you see hedge funds come down and buy up all the single family homes, price out the market, and now the parents' homes that they've been working 40, 50 years to leave their kids behind, they can't afford to fucking do anything with these homes. The extortion of the American dream. This is what happens when we see huge companies like BlackRock and companies like that come to a neighborhood in Montclair, New Jersey, buy the land, start building. They start selling the land. They start building out single family units. They sell one unit to a private LLC that is overpriced intentionally to fuck up the comps and the curve and the numbers in the area. Then they sell another comp in the area to fuck up the comps in the area, which forces everybody to another LLC that they own. And then you turn around and you look up for 2 to 3 years, nothing on development has been done intentionally because their goal was to move everybody out the neighborhood. And they can do that because they're going to sell a 4-bedroom, 5-bathroom, marble countertops, 3 garage for pennies to themselves intentionally so that nobody in the neighborhood can get a lick of money for their house. And therefore, the people around basically just sell their house for nothing. They come in, and America, you will only be able to rent it. You'll never be able to own it. These are the same people. They're reading the same books in business school. They're coming together, and this is what it looks like when you start looking at foreign affairs involved with these type of developments. And so they hide behind religion. But see, this is what we talked about when we were so angry at what we were seeing in religion, guys, is that, guys, when business attached to religion, there's a lot of unethical things that happen, and you guys are fighting to say that the religion is whatever it is, and we're trying to let you know, hey, that shit they're saying ain't true. You guys got to pay attention to that. And we look up, and then now, ironically, the Board of Peace is the one determining what the definition of peace is. Now, we all have a pretty similar understanding to what the term peace means, but now we all have to sit back and question, how the fuck is any of this peaceful? And you start questioning yourself like, you crazy. Like, damn, do I know the definition of peace? Let me punch this shit in ChatGPT. This can't be real. And they have changed the definition right in front of your face, but you stay loyal to that it's still peace. No, these business people are disguising themselves in different outfits. They're using religion. They're using other and referencing other countries' names. They're using and referencing other support from communities, et cetera, et cetera. This is business. This is marketing. This is all of it combined. This is what happens when you tie politicians to religion, to corruption, to opportunity, to, bro, we're not at these tables, bro. And so we're looking here punching air, and it's just like, nah, y'all, we not stupid. It's what you think it is. They just doing it so wildly in your face that you damn near saying there ain't no way, that there's no way they could be weaponizing the religion. Is BB not on this stage? How the hell did he get an invite to the peace meeting?
Yeah, I don't know if he's on this one, but he's definitely a part of it.
He's definitely a part of it. How did he get to sign off on documents when there's nobody? Like, y'all see what's going on? So maybe rather than y'all saying that look, not all people are like that. Just tell us, look, we don't know how to stop it. Because at least we're all having understanding that what's going on is not right. And now we can be all in a solution-based noise. We're tired of, it doesn't make sense for us to keep fighting about what the religious is and whether or not religion is corrupt. No. We don't have to keep arguing about that. You know why? Because y'all see it too. We just want y'all to be like, look, man, it looks like they're using these different plays to push their narrative, and this is dangerous, but just we don't know what to do. And then we have to sit back and have that conversation. What are we gonna do? And if y'all basically telling me y'all don't know what to do, or there ain't no option, and cats got to sit back and just accept it as the American people, which I think most likely they're gonna do, then it is gonna be what's gonna be like.
So this is the reason why BB wasn't there. I don't know if you want to read it.
I just read that, Green. Fears he would be arrested for war crimes committed in Gaza. Come on, baby.
That's why he didn't pull up to the meeting. Yo, imagine a war criminal. He's accepting the being on the board of peace, but he can't even pull up to sign the actual board of peace treaty, whatever it is that they're calling it, because he's scared that if he sets foot in the country that they're having it in, that he'll get arrested for all of his war crimes. Yeah, this.
Oh, it's official then, Glay. So we
know
read
what's
this,
going on.
Yeah, we read this book all the way to the end. I think with this today, we hit the last page. This was the cat. What is it? This was the plot twist. Plot twist. It was all a property play. We knew they wanted the land, but they just vesseled it in whatever they could to get it off. And so this was where we're at, bro. Nasty work. Nasty work. So in 2026, we're seeing in real time how they'll use words like peace. They'll say, oh, we're God's people. They'll do all these things to market it, to package it, while they're behind the scenes building out pamphlets and brochures that you can invest, $9.99 and get your piece and get your part of history that we've seen before. Crazy work.
Damn, man. Oh boy, bro.
Yep, the bug said it. Market manipulation. Yep, that's how they doing it. This ain't nothing but BlackRock. This is small hat rock.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on to this next video. Same energy. Two different clips. So one is Ben Shapiro, I believe months ago, last June, when he was talking about dropping bombs in Iran to get rid of their nuclear facility, and then, or their nuclear developments, whatever that means. And one is a much more recent one. So let's take a look at these videos. See what y'all think, man. Evil is running the world. The devil's running. The devil is winning right now, but that's cool. Figuring out, maybe that's the first step. Admitting that we're losing. Maybe that's the first step, because if I don't know what we're waiting for. Newsflash, if we're waiting for a Messiah to come, it ain't happening, bro. Like, it ain't happening until we decide to become the Messiah on our own, because the way that the devil got the people emboldened and empowered on his side, it's going to take a little bit more than just the Messiah, coming. Look, now, and when the Messiah comes this time, hopefully people will get on board with it and just not let somebody get hung up on a cross by themselves. Hopefully, you know what? I'm sorry, Glay. Bro, these are crazy times that we're living in, bro. Crazy times, and we just accept this. We just sit back and accept this type of stuff. Oh, my fault. I thought it was on the screen.
I think for the president to not consider some sort of... The president may be considering military options still. It would be very difficult, I think, for the president to not consider some sort of major move against Iran, considering he drew a red line the mass murder of protesters, Iran didn't just cross the red line, they jumped over it with both feet, shooting protesters by perhaps the tens of thousands in the streets in Iran. According to the Wall Street Journal, President Trump is still pressing aides for what he terms decisive military options. The discussions are happening while the U.S. sends an aircraft carrier and jet fighters to the Middle East. Those deployments may be the start of a broader buildup that would give President Trump the firepower to strike Iran should he choose to use them. So, a revised suite of options are being created for the president, including some that would seek to push the regime out of power. How much can be done with air power is really the big question. The White House has to grapple with whether the administration is prepared to carry out a sustained military campaign that might last weeks or months should the protesters in Iran again take to the streets and appeal to President Trump for protection. However, suffice it to say that if the president really does not take significant action against the Iranian government in the aftermath of telling the protesters to stay out in the street and, quote, help is on the way, that would not only be disastrous for the protesters in Iran, it would in fact be a signal to places like China that going after, say, Taiwan would not be reacted to by the United States with any sense of strength or alacrity.
I'll be honest, man. I wasn't listening to a word that he said. I'm gonna go on to the next video. It's just hard for me to hear him. This is the second video that I wanted to play.
Vice President J.D. Vance suggested that the smartest thing for the Iranians to do is for them to have a real negotiation with the United States about their nuclear program. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. That's nonsense. That's just crap. That's silly. I like the vice president, but that's nonsense. The notion that the Iranians could make any guarantee to the United States that would now be sufficient to quiet our concerns about the revival of a nuclear program is silly talk. It is undermining, by the way, the protesters who are in the streets. If the suggestion is that if the mullahs say pretty words, then the United States will withdraw its support for the protesters and watch them get mowed down by the thousands, that is a problem.
All this stuff is just propaganda, bro. This is what the devil looks like. I don't care what anybody says. Ben Shapiro has signed up for the team. He's on Team Devil. He's on Team Devil. He's on Team Devil, bro. Like, to have some sort of standard as if you can set the tone on how to police Iran when y'all got secret nuclear weapons that you've never let America know about. And we're getting ready to get into this JFK video right after this, in which JFK is discussing why people in the Middle East have the outlook that they have on America. And what was JFK trying to push? What do a lot of people think that JFK died because of?
You never told me, Glenn.
We're gonna look at. Matter of fact, let's over the weekend. We'll do a show on Monday about that. We'll do a show on Monday about that. But JFK at the time, he was trying to do certain things regarding like Israel having to expose, or if they have any nuclear developments, things that like he was putting a lot of pressure on Israel. He was putting a whole lot of pressure on Israel that they did not like, and when he died, who ended up, I forget who took over. Shoot, hold on one second. Somebody write in the chat. But the next president, his vice president, who allegedly is rumored to, people have said that he's had some involvement in it as well, but he was very Israel friendly. Yeah. So,
them boys been controlling the bag for a minute.
Bro, for a minute, man. And it's oh my God, man.
They've been controlling this bag for a hot minute. They so used to being at the top. Damn.
Oh, yeah, it was Lyndon B. Johnson, our guy, actually.
Oh, LBJ.
That's our guy, man. That's social program. That's who helped the black community more than anybody.
Oh, not OBJ, LBJ. Okay.
Yeah, OBJ, LBJ. Black people love him regardless. We love them both.
Yeah, okay, LBJ.
Let's keep it moving.
That is foolish. Again, none of this is a call for hundreds of thousands of troops on the ground in Iran. Again, no one is talking about Iraq. The Iraq War syndrome, as I discussed last week, is broken. No one wants a gigantic American occupation of Iran. No one. That's silly talk. The question is, what options are on the table that would protect the protesters, weaken the regime, and allow the Iranian people to take the situation into their own hands? And obviously, there's a risk-reward calculation here that has to be made by the president of the United States. Tehran is suggesting that it will consider targeting U.S. military facilities as well as Israel if it detects signs of an impending attack. Now, realistically speaking, if Iran were to strike back, let's say that the United States were to fly some F-16s into Iran, take out some IRGC facilities, and then Iran were to fire a bunch of missiles at Qatari air bases, Al Udeid, for example. First of all, their retaliatory response thus far has been lackluster, shall we say. Israel completely defenestrated Iran's military in the 12-day war earlier last year. But if the Iranian government truly decides to attack American troops in the region in retaliation for a couple of pinpoint strikes, deterring the IRGC from murdering people in the streets, that will be the end of the regime, and it will be performed largely through air power.
I'm just gonna move on to the JFK video, Glay, unless you got anything to comment on that one. You heard me?
What's that, Glay?
I'll say I'm just gonna move on to the JFK video unless you got any comments regarding that one. I don't.
I had to look up. I had to look up the Ben Shapiro speed bag.
Oh, the when he tried to hit the speed bag and got hit back in the face.
Oh, that's really him.
Yeah, I guess so.
How do we let these kind of guys even get?
Yo, how is he like?
I don't understand. Like, I came from the same schools y'all came from. How did those kids ever get these platforms? What the fuck happened?
Who's listening to a Ben Shapiro? But he has an influence, bro. He has, and thank God, I guess it's diminishing compared to what it was. Yo, Ben Shapiro used to be that guy to a lot of conservatives. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, now everybody's clowning Ben Shapiro, but Ben Shapiro, he used to be that guy, bro.
Yeah, the industry in a chokehold.
And I don't know how.
I look at that video I just saw and said, you would have told me, you know how you got awards in high school where you're like, this guy's most likely to start his own business. This guy's more likely to make it to the NFL.
Superlatives.
Yeah. And then I'm like, y'all were going to tell me this guy is most likely to build a huge influence on a social media platform and become a house dog. What the fuck?
Household name, bro.
Oh my God. I don't know how we let the kids in the front of the class who were there every day, and then now in black hoodies with the hoodies on, with their pants highest to the shoulders, and now this, I don't know. You couldn't have told me this is the way life would have turned out, Glay. I knew nothing. I can continue to confirm I know nothing, and I continue to remind myself I don't know anything. Yeah. It's this is a tough one, bro, because and this is how we have to be very careful. And it actually reminds me of something. We were walking yesterday from the store, and we bumped into this guy, and he was walking his dog, and maybe he saw, it was just I was with my parents, and he probably saw some black people in Miami, so he assumed that we were Democrats, I guess. So he starts talking to us, and he's saying that how he's getting ready to move back to California. And I'm like, really? I said, most people doing the opposite. And he's like, well, you know, I'm a social democrat, so I just don't like it here. You know, I can't stand the mayor. And he brought up the incident that we brought up on the show, as far as with the mayor sending a police officer to this lady's home because she put something on social media that the mayor didn't like. So I'm like, yeah, I don't like that either. I don't rock with the mayor either. That was corny. That was bullying, all this other stuff. Now, I put the social democrat comment to the side, but I think he brought up the fact that
there were a lot of Jewish people in Miami Beach who actually stood up against the mayor. I wasn't aware of this. So apparently there were a lot of Jewish people in Miami that stood up against the mayor trying to bully this theater, who wouldn't show this video that was exposing the demolition that we've been watching, the plans to, I guess, rebuild from the demolition. But the documentary was explaining how they were demolishing all of these different homes in Palestine.
That's a movie.
So that's what happened. So that's what the mayor. So remember that incident that?
Oh yeah.
We showed? So the incident was over. The mayor sent somebody to this lady's house because she was exposing what he did with the movie theater. He tried to get a movie theater to get kicked out of there, like to just cancel their lease for them to be kicked out of Miami Beach because they played a documentary by Israeli and Palestinian journalists exposing how the Palestinians' homes have been demolished through this war. So he tried to get them kicked out, saying that this is one-sided. This is, bro, it's a documentary. They could put out whatever documentary they want to put out. But he's running it like the mob. Nah, y'all can't have that in here. But all of this is the energy, bro. This is no different than Kyrie Irving. Like, let's be clear. Let's be very clear here. I know that when it happens to black people, we typically don't like, I don't know. And I'm talking about black people specifically. I'm not even talking about other people. I'm talking about black people. We just let it go. But they tried to destroy Kyrie Irving's career because he retweeted a documentary. Like, let's be clear on what happened there. He didn't say anything. He didn't do anything. They tried to ruin this man's career, and nobody stepped up and said anything in his support. Yeah, they tried to ruin. You got goofy Shaq jumping out the window talking about, yeah, this was stupid what Kyrie Irving's doing, not even realizing that at Shaq's movie theaters in Newark, they were playing the same documentary. But they tried to cancel Kyrie Irving's career. They tried to destroy him for retweeting a documentary.
And it was that documentary?
It wasn't this documentary. It was a different one that wasn't even exposing, in my opinion, as much as what this one, I believe, exposes, just based on what I haven't seen the documentary, but just based on what it's about. Like, that other documentary wasn't specifically about like Jewish people. It was a history for black people. You know what I mean? And that was just part of it. But this one is directly exposing, what's going on in Palestine and their homes being destroyed. And so long story short is, I was trying to say that there were, apparently, I got to look this up, that there were a bunch of Jewish people calling the mayor out. And the point that I was trying to make is we got to be very careful, because when I look at this stuff, I understand more and more how when you have an energy, or let's say certain people in the past, I remember even Malcolm X with the Nation of Islam, when they were saying that white people are the blue-eyed devils. You know what I mean? We have to be very careful, especially think back to when there's not social media and you're living in America, you're being oppressed, you've lived through Jim Crow, and now you finally got some black people who are standing on business saying we need to do for self, and they're telling you that the white man is the blue-eyed devil. A lot of people will get on board with that. And a lot of people, based on their own personal experiences in life, probably they probably believe that. Mm-hmm. So this is what I'm saying. We got to be very careful, and everybody has to. This is why we always say the good cops got to speak out and make it. You got to be just as loud as the actions of them bad cops. Mm-hmm. Because what ends up happening in a lot of these situations, you start looking at these people and you lump them into a category, especially when you don't hear the other people in that same category speaking out, and you start to look at them like, yo, these are some demonic people. It's how we operate. So we got to be real careful, because this thing could easily turn into some type of racial, religion, the next Crusades. I don't know what we want to call it, but something needs to be addressed. Something has to happen. So let's get to this video with JFK, and then we'll continue the conversation as we go through this video.
Mr. Kennedy, I believe you also visited the Middle East on your trip. Now, why is it that we Americans have so many enemies in the Middle East today?
Well, I think that there's two reasons. In the first place, all of these countries, stretching from French North Africa to the South China Sea, French Indochina, all of these countries have been or still are under the domination of Western powers, the so-called white powers. And there, therefore, is a heritage of animosity and hatred directed against the West, and as we are the strongest of the Western powers, we fall heir to a great deal of that. Secondly, these people live on a marginal level. Their standard of living is very low. Most of them are illiterate. And they have this past history of Western exploitation. The communists, or at least the Russians, have not had a comparable colonial experience in this area. They move among the people and say, how could you be worse off than you now are? Come with us and you might be better off. It's compounded by the fact that in some of these countries they have native oligarchies who are corrupt and are not concerned about the welfare of the people. All these things compound in these difficult days make for a fertile field for communist infiltration and weakness for the West.
Well, now, what can we do, sir, to retrieve the situation?
Well, I think that the odds are against us in Southeast Asia. We might as well recognize it. But nevertheless,
Write
there
it
are
off?
some things that we can. No, I wouldn't write it off because I don't think we can afford to do it. But I think that, in the first place, I don't see any point in giving these governments large sums of money. But I would, because a lot of it would be wasted, but I would, and we haven't got it anymore, but I would give them technical assistance. We have done that in India. We sent out people from the Department of Agriculture who showed them how to increase their food productivity, which is their great shortage. And I would support the natives in those areas and their aspirations, even if they don't always do what we want them to do. I would support the free countries of India, Asia, India, Ceylon, Indonesia, Burma. I would support the native aspirations in countries like Iran, even if it happens to be
Support
against
their
the
governments,
interests of
you
the
mean.
West. That's right. And their attempts and liberal groups, and even if they happen to be working against the Western powers with which we're closely allied. I think we have to support the natives in their attempts to be independent, or otherwise that those areas will be seized by the communists.
Damn.
Yeah, that'll get you killed.
It's a solid dude right there.
That'll get you killed.
Damn, I never knew anything about that.
Yeah, why we ain't learn about this speech in school?
All I remember, he got killed, and that's all I knew.
This man said we need to support the natives even if they're doing things that we don't like. Even if they're going against certain Western powers that we're aligned with, we have to support the natives. Yeah. Yeah. That ain't gonna fly. That is the opposite. That is the opposite of what we've done since he's died. Since he died, that is the opposite of what we've done. And this is the opposite of what we're seeing right now. We're seeing the opposite done. They had to get him up out of here. Like, yo. Remember we said, Clay, everybody know.
Damn, everybody knew.
Everybody been knowing.
Y'all knew. Y'all knew. He knew. How old is he? He looks young as hell right there.
Nah, JFK was young.
Oh shit. Okay.
JFK was young. Hold on.
I
How
thought you had to be a
old?
certain age to be the president.
Like 30,
Oh,
30 something.
oh, it's 30s. Okay. I don't know why I
Yeah.
thought it was 40s. Come on, you got his fly suit on, good hairline.
Nah, he was the guy. That was Marilyn Monroe on it. Yeah, like
that was on his arm.
I was just, nah, I don't know if it was on his arm, but it was,
Oh,
she
it was
in the
over there.
background, I think.
Oh, okay. It was over there. Okay.
Yeah.
She was in the crowd with the jersey on.
Man.
38. Okay.
So he was 41, my dad said.
41. Okay.
In this, I don't know, around 41. My dad. So on ChatGPT, it says 43 when he became president.
Oh.
But I don't know when this is.
Dang.
Yeah.
They got him up out of there.
May, baby. May 29th. Okay.
Niggas know. What y'all gonna do about it?
Oh, hold on. The age to be president. My dad said 41, but I think it was a lot. I thought, I think, hold on. Maybe it's not till 41. Let me look it up. What
I thought it was
age
40s
do
you had to be to become president.
to become president? I didn't know that because I thought Nick Fuentes could run, like not in this election, but I was thinking that he could run in the next one. I thought it was 30 something.
Oh,
Y'all may be right. I'm looking it up now. What age, dude? 35 years old.
oh, so you
Yes,
can be
35. Yes, 35 years old, a natural born U.S. citizen, and a resident of the United States for at least 14 years. So the age requirement, 35.
Oh, damn. So you can be president young as shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They said 35. Yeah. Everybody, John said 35. The book said 35.
What y'all gonna do about it?
What we gonna do, Glay?
What we gonna do about it? That's really the question.
Yeah. Yeah. It's this makes you question a whole lot, bro. It makes me question Butler, PA, Trump shooting. Why Trump did Trump even do a deep dive into who shot him? Like,
No, I think they pardoned him, like, the January, whatever.
no, I'm talking about the people, the guy who shot him, the butler, the kid on the roof, allegedly.
Oh, I thought he pardoned him.
No, the dude died.
No, I know. I'm joking.
Oh, I thought you joking. I'm like,
Yeah, like,
unless I missed something. I'm like, hold up.
If he was alive, he would have Kodak Blacked and pardoned him too.
Man.
It's all.
But that's what makes me wonder, though. Why would you not want to investigate who shot you unless you ain't really trying to find out who shot you, or you don't want other people to find out who shot you because they may expose who shot you? I don't know. I just find that weird.
I don't trust nothing, man. You can't. I don't trust nothing. Did y'all see similar topic of why you can't trust niggas 101? Kerry Gold, which is the butter company based out of Ireland, who is known to be the most healthiest butter, the second most purchased butter in the country, has been bamboozling the American people, and saying that it was a grass-fed and grass-finished product, and they have exposed that it was all a marketing play and that it was a lie, and now they're getting huge backlash because of them fucking lying about whether or not it was a grass-fed source of butter. So once again, we were talking about school lunches yesterday. We were talking about, organic this, healthy this. When I see corporate companies allowed to violate and lie, when I'm driving down the street and I'm listening to the radio and there's a settlement for Johnson & Johnson creating prostate cancer, and you may be susceptible to compensation, and that's all.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with Big Pharma. I don't even know, Glad, that Big Pharma is protected, like with these emergency vaccines and stuff, you can't sue them.
Oh, okay. That's a law.
So they're protected. Like, you can't have a complication and then try to sue them. Like, I think they're protected under I forget, somebody can explain it, but when it's an emergency vaccine, they're protected. So, like, it's all of this stuff, bro. And my dad said that the age used to be a bit, I think the age used to be 41, but then they brought it down, or it used to be older when it came to president. But this is, Glade, we're just living in, if you're not doing your due diligence, everything is set up. Like, everything is set up as a scam, whether it's the insurance. We were talking about it last night, insurance. If I was to pay $400 for insurance since I was 21, $400 a month, I think it would have totaled now like something like almost $85,000. And I haven't even used it. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if that money was put into a vehicle that was able to accumulate wealth, like something private of our own. Imagine if we were responsible enough to take that $400 a month, because the $86,000 that we're paying, that's just the payment that's going out. You know what I mean? On a monthly, cool, that's your insurance. Imagine if that was invested in an account that could grow, compound. That money could have been would have been hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the reason why insurance is such a profitable industry is because we pay more than they have to pay out. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
But we just accept comfort in so many different areas of our life. Well, in case this happens, I'm not responsible to have money to the side. Like, they just profit off of all our fears, bro.
And what's crazy, Glay, when they step up and pay for something, they're just using it from a fund of niggas who didn't need the money to pay for your shit. So they're just facilitating the deal. They're not coming out of pocket. They took Jessica's payment for the past 3 years to pay for your sickness, and then they recoup it the next month.
And this is around, like, a lot of older people who put into Social Security. A lot of them have the mindset of it not being a scam. And to them, it may not be a scam, but if, let's say, I think this was the whole big thing around Social Security. If I stop paying into it, if a lot of young people stop paying into it, they won't be able to pay out the people that invested in it without, it's like a Ponzi scheme almost. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to continuously sell this to somebody new in order to pay people for what happened. No, if it should just be based off of their investment.
Yeah.
If they made an investment in Social Security, then they should be able to get paid off of their investment.
Yeah.
Why do you need new people coming in to fund their investment? What did y'all do with the money?
Yeah, it's multi-level marketing at that point.
Right. It's just, it has to continue. Okay, people should, if you invested in Social Security, you should get paid your Social Security based on your investment, not based on having to bring in somebody else new.
This Herbalife.
It's but people, we tend to all see things through the eyes of what benefits us in the short term, rather than taking a step back and saying, hold on, this doesn't make any sense. We're all getting fooled here.
That's nasty word. That's exactly what the whole insurance thing, the big pharma you just talked about. Like, now you're saying they can't sue. Now I'm seeing GLP come out with the pill now, so they don't have to take shots.
I'm sorry, I have no sympathy for people that. I mean, I do have sympathy. I do have empathy, but you taking these GLPs, like, you kind of.
And have you looked up did you look up the Cancer Association? The guys from the Titanic, allegedly, there were 2 people on the Titanic that wasn't going for building the cancer.
Be careful, Glay.
Am I going too hard?
No, keep going.
Oh, they that were going against the cancer. When you what was it? When you look it up, the bread, and you trace it back, you know who built the Cancer Association? Rockefeller. Rockefeller started the cancer.
So the Titanic, a lot of people, I've heard that before, where they said that a couple people on the Titanic, they went.
And it so happens that boat went down, so happens to be the big hitters that were against starting a cancer research thing. And they say cancer research now, and they use the propaganda and the marketing. They do collabs with the NFL. They do labs with the Walk Pink and all these other stuff. But it's just another way to generate money. They're not trying to heal cancer.
I mean, the fact that, bro, this is what I just don't understand when it comes to, like, just people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, big pharma, like, how do you go to a doctor? Because they always try to get me to go to the primary care doctor. And I'm like, what is a primary care doctor going to tell me? Like, I'll get my blood work, I'll get these tests. But the primary care doctor is, like, when you go to medical school, you become more ignorant. You become more indoctrinated. You don't, how do you go to medical school? And I've talked to the doctors, they don't learn anything about nutrition.
Wow,
you literally are your medical school is run by Big Pharma. So therefore, if I have something wrong with me, you're going to present me with a solution based on the tools that you have in your bag within Big Pharma. That's what you were taught. Now, not enough medical professionals will come out and speak on this, because what does it do? It diminishes their expertise. It diminishes their credentials. So therefore, they don't feel, even though they take that Hippocratic oath, they don't feel the need to expose this stuff. How are you a doctor of any sort and you don't understand nutrition? You're not taught nutrition. What are you going to tell me as a primary care doctor? You're going to give me a medicine that mimics a plant that is obviously in nature. You're going to just give me something that mimics it, but has all these different side effects that the plant doesn't have, but it continues. It just manages my condition. So therefore you can keep making sure that I'm taking this prescription, But it's like, we don't even, I always get like, it's like when you have this conversation with people that have just accepted being in the matrix, have just accepted that Big Pharma controls all of our doctors, they act like you're pitching some type of conspiracy to them. It's like, bro, wake up. They don't even, how can you be a primary care doctor if you don't even understand how the food that I eat impacts my overall health? How can you come up with any solution? You're giving me pills, bro. You're giving me pills. And shout out to the primary care doctors and doctors in general that go above and beyond and learn these things that they weren't willing to learn, and perhaps unlearn a lot of the things that they were taught in medical school, bro. I don't trust, my standard is to not trust the doctor. If I trust the doctor, that's the exception. It's like we have so much trust. Think about this. We trust the doctors. We trust we trust the pastors. We trusted people with religion. Like, all this trust that we extend has landed us in this position that we're in right now. We trust the food companies. Mm-hmm. We trust the grocery stores. Yeah. We trust the politicians. Mm-hmm. It's like, bro, wake up. Like, this is what I mean when I say part of the slavery is a choice, bro. It is a choice to be this indoctrinated and just accept it. It's a choice. All right, glad I got to jump out here a little early, so we could start the. I'll let you finish with the last words, and then I'll do the breath work. I got you there, bro.
Well, you know what I'm saying? You know, you like to present it in a way.
I'm still do the breath work.
This ain't your first rodeo.
Matter of fact, now that you're bringing it up, I wasn't even going to say it. This is you.
I ran the play yesterday.
Oh, you did yesterday? All right. It was the day before you did. All right, my bad.
But what I was going to say, yeah, like you said, and one of my mentors down here when I was getting into training, big time trainer, train all the actors, whatever, like all the very successful people, was on the Dr. Oz show multiple times. That's it, right, all that. He's cool with surgeons, all the everything. And when he pulled me and he said, they're all full of shit. This guy has trained Oprah, Leonardo DiCaprio, anybody you guys could possibly fucking think about. The wealthiest of the wealthy, the successful, Tyler Perry, all that, Glenn. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he my mentor, and so he gonna keep it a bean. And I'm seeing him on the Dr. Oz show. I'm seeing him really just like, I'm like, damn, bro, like I'm trying to get like you. I'm trying to be lit. And then, you know, we get real cool. And then he realized like, oh, he ain't drinking the Kool-Aid. He tapped in, et cetera, et cetera. He's like, every surgeon you see, every doctor you see, everybody who's given medication, they don't even like to speak to me. I walk into the room, they put their heads down. They don't want to heal anybody. They're fucking snakes. He says, eat whole food, stay away from processed shit. If something hurts, find a way to train your nervous system. You don't need none of this fucking shit. He says they won't even send him referrals anymore because he exposes how 99% of them want to put y'all on surgery. And he says, I can heal there is 99% injuries I can heal without ever you going to surgery. But they don't want to send nobody to me no more now because they realize that I expose that. To the point now, he doesn't say shit to nobody. He's low key. He don't speak to no one. He don't fuck with nobody. And he's been at the top of the top. He says, this shit is just a shit show. And I was like, damn, bro. And so he's the one that said it. Those doctors, those surgeons. And look, we're not trying to attack, but when the good ones don't speak out, or you don't even realize you're being indoctrinated, that's the nasty work. And so that's what he said, bro. He was like, nah, bro, all that shit they spitting to y'all, all that shit, lying. Cholesterol, high cholesterol is bad for you. Lies. All this, lies. Fat, eating healthy fats is bad for you. Lie. He says it's a lie all the way down to the books they're getting. All to the teachers that the books that the doctors are getting are all lies. They all feed a system. He says it doesn't matter what school they go to. I don't care if they go to the best medical school in the world. The books are fucked up.
The white papers are sponsored by Big Pharma. Isn't that a clear conflict of interest? How are you going to have the people who are supposed to give out objective information on whether or not a pill is good for somebody, whether or not a medication is good for somebody, and you have the people that create the pill and profit from the pill that are paying the people to do the research
on the pill?
It's like,
if I ever heard of collusion, that would be the definition.
But people accept it because people got scared. They got scared during 2020 and just ran to take whatever it is that was presented to them. People live in fear. And it's a shame that there's only a few of those doctors like you, Glay. And if you're not in the healthcare industry, if I wasn't in the healthcare industry, this is why I hate the healthcare industry. This is part of the reason, like I hate the healthcare industry. I go to these events. I can't stand these people. The majority of these events that I go to, whether it's the attorneys and the doctors, I can't stand these people. They're clowns. They're just doing stuff for a paycheck. They were the geeks growing up that never were cool. So therefore, they don't even care. They're compromised all their morals and principles just for somebody to look at them with a little bit of respect, just based on them achieving some sort of degree. I can't stand them, bro. They are all poisoning the people, bro.
Yeah, that's what David.
You are poisoning people. And the doctors that get offended by this, you're one of them. You're one of them, because there are a few doctors out here that will acknowledge it, and it's clear as day. They'll just be like, oh yeah, we don't learn about that. We just learn how to do this. And that's why it is a business. They are selling you on something. When you go to the doctor's office, you know what they're looking at? Yo, what insurance they got? They already know your insurance before you sit down in the room, and they decide what treatment they give you. If you don't believe me, run the test. Have somebody go in with the same symptoms that you have with terrible insurance, and then have somebody go in with the same symptoms and express that with great insurance. They're going to try to operate on that person with great insurance. The other person without bad insurance, it's not worth me operating on them because the risk and reward isn't there. What if the surgery goes bad? What if they try to sue me? All these different things. I only get paid this amount. This is how the industry works.
Yeah.
When I talk to a doctor, hey, got a referral, what's the insurance? That's the first question that's asked. Doctors pick and choose. Let me give y'all a heads up. This is how this works. This is my business. You know that you get paid. You can do the same surgery and based on that code that they write out and give to the insurance company to determine the reimbursement, you go to depending on the zip code that you're operating in, can determine whether you get paid $2,000 for a surgery or $40,000 for a surgery. How did I learn this? Through a doctor that was taking advantage of it. Now, you could say that that's a problem with the overall system. Cool. But why aren't the people who are aware of the system calling it out? Because they're all a part of it. Mm-hmm. They're all a part of it. This is all just a business. Stop looking at it as if these people stand on some sort of moral high ground more than any used car salesman.
Yeah.
I trust a used car salesman just as much as I trust a doctor.
That's sad.
And if you're not looking at it like that, you're getting played. You are getting played. Go to that health food store, the health food store that I go to in Jersey. I went in there. They tried to, the reason why they got started, the dude was telling me the story. He's like, yo, my wife, they told her, and they told us that she couldn't get healthy, that she had no other option. She had to get on chemo. They decided to do their due diligence, lean into Eastern medicine, that everybody doesn't look at medicine the way that Americans look at medicine. You know what I'm saying? So they leaned into the Eastern medicine and were able to heal his wife. That's the person with the knowledge, not the person that just gets told, hey, you prescribe them this medicine this year, then you prescribe them this medicine this year. Half of these nerds are just prescribing medicine based on the pretty girl that walks into their office and gives them or amps them up to, hey, use this product. That's how they're determining a lot of this stuff.
And you get a kickback.
Come on, bro. This is all, I'm telling y'all, it happens, bro. There's a reason why. Have y'all ever seen some reps, sales reps in the healthcare industry? When I go to my holiday parties, it looks like I'm in a music video, bro. It looks like I'm in a music video.
They pitching themselves.
They just hiring people based on, y'all, are these workers? Are these night workers?
Bottle girls?
Or are these healthcare workers?
Yeah.
Glay, I gotta run, man. I gotta take her to the airport. Let me do a real quick breath work, and then can you carry us out after that?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do a real quick breath work. Shout out to our big bro Steve. Oh, shout out to Romulus first and foremost. Appreciate the super chat, brother. Look up who owns the publications. P.S. Maxwell ran a bunch of them. Ooh. Are you talking about Jelaine Epstein Maxwell? All right, we're gonna have to look into that. Appreciate you again. So we're going to do our breath work. We're going to go through 4 cycles. It's going to be a 4-second inhale followed by a 4-second hold, 4-second exhale, 4-second hold. On the inhale, we want to make sure we're focusing on intentionally inhaling positive energy. On the exhale, getting rid of the negative. So let's start off. If you're in a safe place, close your eyes. If you are getting ready to leave, don't hit that like button. This is the most important part of the show. So 4-second inhale. If you're in a safe place, close your eyes. Ready, begin. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Release. Hold. Keep holding. We're getting ready to go into our last cycle. So be very intentional with this next inhale. Inhaling that positive energy. Ready, begin. Hold. Exhale. Get rid of that negative energy. Hold. All right, Glay. I see y'all tomorrow. Glay gonna take y'all out from here. Oh no, we won't see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have an amazing weekend, man. Matter of fact, we'll see y'all over the weekend. Glay, we'll see them over the weekend.
Okay. Well, here, you might as well close it out. You might as well close it out because I'm gonna have to close. You log into your
yeah. So y'all know we come here to do elevate on purpose, man. Let's move with intention. And everything that we're doing in life, let's move with intention. Let's understand the big picture, remove emotions. Let's approach things from a logical standpoint, and let's evaluate it as such. We are living in some dark times. However, that's just calling us to bring the light. So look internally. We all have a certain level of light in us. Maximize that potential. There's nothing that we want to see in this world that can't happen if we come together and force it to happen. All right, let's speak on it. Let's live it. All of the above. So strength and honor, onward and upward. keep challenging ourselves to raise our standards, becoming better leaders, growing into the people we need to grow and develop into as we live in our purpose, striving for purposeful abundance, and we make that impact on the world that we like to call our personal legend. So we need to figure out what we're focusing on, and figure out what our standards are going to be based on. The things that I like to focus on: peace, love, happiness, health, wealth, and in everything we do, integrity. Got to add that balance in there. Give them the sprinkle, Glay, and we got to have that perspective. So, all right, let me make sure. I want to make sure that I'm catching up, but I really got to run. All right, hold on, real quick. Couple wise words: rhetoric without action is noise. It convinces the ear, but never shapes the soul. Rhetoric is easy. Discipline is rare. The world is changed by the latter. Let's be rare, man. We leaning into that discipline.
Abu Han, shut up.
I know they clap. I saw that. Yo.
Abu Han, shut up, bro. Let me ride my dome, man.
Words impress, character decides, action proves. The Honorable Marcus Aurelius, thank you for everything today. Stay blessed, dudes. Till next time, you stay blessed as well, man. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all know what it is. And we'll see y'all over the weekend. And if we don't see y'all over the weekend, we'll see y'all on Monday.
Blake cannot get off this.
Shout out to Damn, Let's talk about the turkey tail mushrooms, the lion's mane shiitake. Leo, look into them mushrooms too, man. All right, we out of here.